The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Dynamics 365 webinar for August 10th, 2016. Before we get started, I just want to double check and make sure that everybody can see my screen. If you can't, you can either type in the chat or the questions, and I'll wait 1 second. And I'm not seeing anybody say they can't see it, so I'm going to assume it's good. Jonathan, can you see everything just fine?
Looks good to me.
Okay. So thank you for your time this afternoon. What we're going to do is we'll start off with some brief introductions of who we are, and then we're going to introduce Microsoft Dynamics 365. This is exciting, and this is our first webinar of this too, so this product hasn't been released yet. It'll come out later this fall. And then we're going to spend the bulk of the time with a live demonstration, including what I think is the highlight. We're going to show the integration with Outlook in the cloud, and Dynamics 365. And we'll save some time for some Q&A at the end. So total, this should take no more than 30 minutes. So we're going to move through things at a rapid clip and show you just enough so that you have an understanding of exactly what this Dynamics 365 business is all about. So introductions. My name is George Delp. I'm the sales manager here at InterDyn Artis. I started with Big 5 accounting back then. Now it's Big 4. And I've been selling and implementing ERP software and CRM software for the last 15 years. Joining me is Jonathan Kroll, and he leads up our Dynamics 365 and CRM practices. So he's going to be doing the actual demonstration. Jonathan, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello out there.
So our company, InterDyn Artis, we are a reseller and implementer of ERP and CRM solutions. We're headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina, founded in 1989. So we've been doing this for a little while. We have 250 local clients, 25 people in our Charlotte office. We're a member of InterDyn, and there's about 40 locations nationwide and quite a few customers and staff, as you can see. The main services that we provide, they all relate to the implementation of ERP and CRM, whether it's training, data conversion, installation if it's an on-premise solution, business process review, technical support or after the sales support, customization, you name it. That's what we do. That's what we focus on. We sell the software and we help you get the most out of it. We have lots of clients, like I mentioned, lots of different industries. We service healthcare, manufacturing, transportation, logistics, lumber, not-for-profit, quite a few others. So you might see some companies on here you know, or you might not. So with that, are there any questions about us before we move into the Dynamics 365 portion of the presentation? And let's go. So what is happening in the market today? As you saw, we've been doing this for a while, and there's been a marked change. People are much more comfortable with cloud solutions today, and that's what we're showing you. And a recent survey from a company called BigFlash shows that over half of organizations are confident with cloud solutions. If you go back a decade ago, that percentage was much lower. We sold almost all on-premise software back then. Today, our deals, it's right in line with that 52%. It's about half on-premise and half cloud solutions that we sell today. Now, this next point, and this is what's really going to drive home the value of Dynamics 365, is a study by the American Psychological Association showed that 40% of a worker's productive time is lost when switching tasks. And when you think of switching tasks, maybe you get an email and then you got to, open your accounting system and enter a new customer and generate a quote and maybe print it and scan it so that you can then attach it or save it as a PDF, hopefully, instead of printing and scanning and then attaching it. But needless to say, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of non-integration. We're going to show you how we can help you solve that problem here today. So when we talk about productivity tools, we're talking about things like Outlook or Word or Excel at their most basic. And when we talk about business processes, we're talking about your accounting software, your distribution software. what we're going to show you today is how you can merge these two worlds into one. Traditionally, they're like that example I just gave, they're pretty separate. But Dynamics 365 together with Office 365 is truly a seamless integrated environment. So what is Dynamics 365? It's Microsoft's first cloud accounting offering. And you may have heard of Dynamics GP or NAV or even AX or SL. Those are ERP offerings from Microsoft. They got their start, with on-premise solutions, and they're available in the cloud through partners. But this one is straight from Microsoft, just like their Microsoft CRM product. Now, there's two editions. The one that's coming out first is the Business Edition, and that's what we're looking at today. It's basically a scaled-down version of Microsoft NAV, which you might know as Navision if you go back a few years. Later, they're going to release the Enterprise Edition, which is going to be based on Microsoft Dynamics AX. That's going to be for large companies, typically multinationals or Fortune 500 types. So most of the customers we deal with are going to be in the business class. Now the code name, and you'll hear this word, and you'll actually see it on the demo for Dynamics 365, that's the release name. But during development, the code name is Project Madeira. And it might seem like I'm harping on this, but it really is a reinvention of the way that accounting and productivity software will work together. So there's a little screenshot. We'll see a whole lot more in just a little bit. Now, if you go out to Bing or Google and you search Dynamics 365 or Project Madeira, you'll see a lot of press. There's a lot of excitement out there, ranging from the Wall Street Journal to Forbes to Bloomberg to some other tech-oriented sites. So if you like what you see today, I encourage you to go out there, Google, see what you can find, some more articles and such. So it's generally, everyone's pretty excited. Now let's talk about the ecosystem. So this is a cloud solution, and if you've not heard of Microsoft Azure, that's Microsoft's cloud hosting environment, similar to, like Amazon Rackspace. Now on top of that, Microsoft has made something new called the Common Data Model. And what that is, it's a common data framework that is going to be used by their Office products, by their ERP products, accounting products, or their CRM products. And what this will allow is we have this common data model in the cloud on Microsoft Azure, and all of these different applications will use this common data model, and they'll inherently be able to talk together. There's also some other platform-level applications available, specifically Power Apps. I don't know how many of you have used Microsoft Access before, or Access. It lets you make forms and create a database. Well, Power Apps, think of it as a cloud version of Access that lets you create forms that access the common data model. You also have Power BI, which has will be embedded. We can't show you that today because it's not out yet. And then something called Flow, which is coming out later this year, if not next year, which is a workflow tool that can be used with Dynamics 365. So here you can see that the real applications running on top of all the platform stuff. You have Office 365, and you have Dynamics 365, and we're looking at the Business Edition. There's also some major apps on here, Power BI mentioned again, Cortana Intelligence, and the Azure Internet of Things. So the Cortana Intelligence is definitely beyond what we'll show today. That's machine learning and thinking and algorithms and analysis of data, past data, predictions of future results, stuff like that. And then the Internet of Things is basically just taking, connectivity to things other than computers. So if you have machinery or whatnot, that might be an example of an Internet of Things application. And then, excitingly, on top of this is we all love apps, and there's going to be an app store just for Dynamics 365 called Microsoft App Source. So I'll show you some examples of what's available there later. Now, this first release of Dynamics 365, it's going to focus on financials. There's going to be sales, marketing, and some other parts that come out later. So let's take a specific look at all the Business Edition release functionality. It's going to start with financials. That's what we're looking at today. The fixed assets module is also coming, as well as supply chain management, sales orders, purchase orders, inventory. We'll show you a little bit of that today. Opportunity management, that's some basic work or CRM type capabilities. the workflow that I mentioned with flow, and then jobs. So when we say jobs in this context, we're really meaning it's project accounting. So, and we might have some people on the group as I looked at the sign-up list. I know that will definitely be interested in the jobs aspect. Apps. We talked about we talked about apps. By this I mean apps for the application, not add-on apps. So Dynamics 365 will run on your desktop. It doesn't matter what browser you run. You could be on Chrome, Firefox, you name it. It also has a tablet application and a phone application. These are available now. Well, at the end of this, we'll show you how you can sign up for your own Dynamics 365 trial. You can download these apps and connect it to it. So this is not, smoke and mirrors demo. We'll show you how you can actually do everything that we're going to show you today. You can do it for yourself, and we'll teach you how. And one of the nice things, I'm a real big fan of Microsoft's new CEO, Satya Nadella. Ever since he's taken the reins, the multi-platform support from Microsoft has been phenomenal. And everything we're talking about here will run on the Windows, the Apple, and the Android operating systems and devices. So I talked about the other apps, and I'm still learning some of the new terms myself. The proper word for those is extensions. So extensions extend the functionality of Dynamics 365. And there's already some that are available. This is a screenshot from the extension store. So we have a credit card processing functionality already. There is a e-commerce site ready to go. There's some data migration tools. So, a lot of people we do projects with are coming off QuickBooks, or maybe you got a pesky old Sage product like MAS 90 that you bought, 20 years ago, and it's time to change that. It's a PayPal integration. So there's a lot more coming out here over the next few months. We're going to see a great new number of extensions available in the app source, not the app store, but the app source. So cost and availability, the pricing is still TBD. I can tell you it will be priced similarly to Microsoft CRM Online, which is $65 per user per month. So, that's kind of the ballpark. The business edition will be released in the fall of 2016 as well. Now, if you like what you see today, we are a member of the Dynamics 365 Early Adopter Program, and we can actually get people enrolled in the Technical Assistance Program. It's kind of like a beta. It lets you use Madeira early, and there are some benefits to that. Hey, if you're totally risk averse, it's not for you, but otherwise, if that's something you're interested in, definitely let us know and we'll talk to you about that. So now we're going to move on to the live demo. Before we do that, I'm going to take a quick pause to see if there's any questions or comments. And I don't see any. So here's what we're going to show you. We're going to show you the home screen, a little bit of the navigation. We're going to take a look at the master records. And then, as I said, the highlight. We're going to show you Dynamics 365 in your email. It's really neat. And then we'll finish up with taking a look at the balance sheet and income statement, because obviously, financial statements are one of the main parts of an accounting system. We do have one question. What is the plan for implementing shop floor management? The plan for that would be to actually look at Microsoft Dynamics Nav, which is one of the other products that we do. If you are a manufacturer, Nav is going to be the one that you need to look at. Dynamics 365 will probably have some basic assembly capabilities, but it's not going to be MRP, shop floor planning, and that type of stuff. We do have that with Nav, though, so that's something we could definitely talk about, and a whole nother set of demo videos and such we could get for you there. Dynamics 365 is intended to replace QuickBooks, be an alternative to QuickBooks, as well as an upgrade to QuickBooks, but it's not a full-fledged enterprise resource planning or MRP type system. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and make Jonathan the presenter and take it away, Jonathan.
Awesome. I appreciate that introduction and the orientation that you provided us there to the solution, George. So some great questions that are coming in as well, which is awesome. So before I get going completely, I want to make sure that everybody can see my screen. It should be the Office 365.
Yeah, it's working.
Perfect. So I figured this would be a great start to this demonstration. So we're right here in Office 365, my normal login, and you can see all the applications that I have access to. And Project Madeira is nestled right in here with the rest. We'll just simply click on that. And you'll notice that there's not a separate login to get into Project Madeira. All of these applications are available through the single sign-on capability, so it's really seamless as far as the transitions are concerned. So we'll just start off taking a look at the home screen. And I'll start at the top ribbon here. So we've got this grid layout in the upper left, and that's just going to show all these applications again that I can transfer back and forth between. By clicking on Project Madeira from within anywhere in the system, it'll return me back to this home screen. And you also have notifications, system settings, and even a help bar right here as well. Next, we'll take a look at the actions. So this is going to be, it'll change depending on the page that you're currently viewing within the system. So on the home screen, I have quick buttons for new additions, whether it's a quote, order invoice, I need to do a purchase invoice, add a customer or a vendor. You can also process payments from the home screen, view financial statements, and we'll come back to that a little bit later. And as George mentioned, we have some additional capabilities where you have company settings. This is set up, and we'll take a look at the services and extensions just to see how easy these are to attain. I mean, they're just right here. They're simple as clicking and running, and then this is the marketplace. So returning back to the home screen. The activity bar right here is a great way for focusing on what needs to be done for this particular day. So as soon as I log in, I can see that I have 5 quotes, 5 orders, 11 invoices that need my attention, so I know where to focus my efforts. Move to the right, and I have it set up to show the KPIs that I want to be able to view. And these are easy to change between the charts and graphs that I find valuable and that I want to track. Scroll down a little bit. I can set up a list of favorite accounts that I want to be able to track on a daily basis as well. And I can add more accounts here if I would like to see more, or I can take some away if I want less accounts to show up here. You also have a financial statement to the right. We have a trial balance. And this information is drill downable, so I can click on any of these and see what is feeding that specific line. And at the very bottom of the home page, we have a report inbox. This is where you can schedule reports to show or generate and run on a daily, weekly, monthly, etc. basis, and they will show up right here in this inbox. You can quickly tell what has been viewed or has not. If it's the black bold, that means I have not opened it yet, and if it's the blue hyperlink, that means I have viewed it, but it is still available for me to pull up again if I needed to. Scroll back up and take a look at the left pane. So again, some quick access buttons here for customers, vendors. Items is what they have called it within Project Madeira. It's more commonly known as inventory. Again, we'll take a look at all of this in a moment. And simply clicking on this down arrow, it'll show a breakdown of the modules that I have access to, which are the finance, sales, and purchasing modules. Now another really nice feature is this light bulb and document sheet, and this is a quick search of pretty much the entire system. So let's say that I'm still learning and trying to find my bearings, and I just need to find where the general ledger is. Just simply type that in, and it's going to pull everything up that meets the criteria that I've put in the search bar. So I just wanted to point that out quickly. It's a great way to learn where things are, and if you're still in that learning process, to make that happen a lot quicker. So next, let's go take a look at our customers and have a display of all the customers that we have entered into the system. By clicking on any of these, you see it changes what the customer sales history is to the right. We'll actually enter in an order for InterDyn Artis here, so you just notice that there's no ongoing sales quotes here, and that'll change shortly. But let's add a new customer and just take a look at how easy that process actually is. By clicking New, it's going to pull up these templates that have been saved in the system. The great thing about these templates are it's going to eliminate the extra data entry. So I can just click OK. It'll take me to the screen or the customer card. And I want to have this as easy as possible. So you want to input as much information or data as you can, right? But only thing that has an asterisk next to it is what is required to be able to save this specific record in the system. We'll go ahead and enter a name, and we'll use, so our newest customer is the place that my fiance loves to eat dinner at. I don't care, right? So that's where she always wants to say, whenever I ask. And then with this web interface, you can collapse and expand all these sections so that you can see or hide as much information as you need to. So open up the address and contact and start typing in some information there. We're on 123 Easy Street. They are here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Right, and then again, just everything that has, and we don't want to see it on a map because it's not a real address, but we want to make sure that we're putting in all of the information that has an asterisk. And the tax code I've already put in Charlotte, North Carolina, so that's easy to do. And it's as simple as that. And it saves real time, so I can click X, and I don't care is right there, our favorite restaurant. We'll also take a look at the vendors section, and it's very similar layout to what the customers are. Again, you click on the different vendors, and it changes the vendor history to the right side here. And just to give another quick preview of the things that change with the various screens that you're on, again, these action buttons at the top, you have navigation, and you have a variety of reports that you can run based on that screen that you're currently viewing. Let's also take a look at the items. So again, this is the inventory that we're selling to our customers. You can actually upload pictures of these products. And on this screen, you can see the description, the pricing associated, as well as the quantity on hand. And by simply clicking on the picture, it's going to pull up the item card. With additional information, you have also item attributes to the right, additional details. Now, before I move forward with the Office 365 integration, George, I wanted to pause to see if there's any questions on hand.
Let's double check. I think we're good to go.
Fantastic. So I'll just go back to the home screen for now, and I'm going to assume the role of the customer. So I'm actually going to go over to my work email here, and new email, and I know the email address. We're doing a PO request. I would like to 5 chairs. Perfect. Go ahead and ship that off, and then again I will transfer back to the Madeira user. I will pull up my home screen, and as I'm sitting here waiting for the notification to come in, which will pop up right here shortly.
So you can be in Madeira and it will pop up that you have a new email that you might need to respond to.
Exactly. So it popped up this little notification here that I have an email from Jonathan Kroll, and we'll just pull that up and be able to take a look at exactly what this email says, be it work-related or else. So here we are. We have this email right here in Madeira. So, hi, I would like to purchase 5 chairs. Please provide a quote. And you see this Madeira link right here within the email. So you just click that, and what it's going to do is it's going to go and retrieve all of the information from Madeira and bring it to this email, this window. So I have all of the customer details that are specific to InterDyn Artis, which again is a customer in the system, and it recognizes that based on the email address of the person that just sent me the email.
So without even leaving your email, you can see that their account is current. So
exactly.
Nice.
So no aged accounts receivable here. And again, I can see exactly the sales history. And as simply as clicking new, I can pull up a sales quote, invoice, order, or even issue a new credit memo. And I know that he has requested a quote for these 5 chairs. So I click quote, and it brings me to the quote entry screen, again, right within the email. So I can go to the item, and he has requested a chair. So I can type in chair, and it's going to pull up all of my items that match that description. And I can quickly see the quantity on hand and know that if I want to be able to provide this to InterDyn Artis quickly, I need to either choose the Berlin guest chair or this Sydney swivel chair. And we'll go with the Berlin. So click that, enter the quantity of 5, and then you can also scroll down and make sure that all of the additional information is correct for invoicing, shipping, and everything else, which it all looks good to go to me. So we'll go over here and click this ellipsis. This is going to be the processes that I can do. So I can make this into an order or an invoice from here. What I want to do is send this back to the customer so that they can view it and verify it, and we can move forward if they approve. All right, and so full disclosure is the subscription for Office 365 actually expired today, so some of this isn't working as smoothly as possible. But the good thing is I can quickly transfer from this over to Outlook, and it will be right here in my drafts folder. Perfect. So as you see, it's got the quote listed right here in the email. Everything is ready to go. I simply hit send, and you see up in the top right, don't lose your data, because I've lost my subscription, but I still have access because Microsoft wants me to pay for it.
So Jonathan, if the subscription was still going on this demo environment, that would have popped up an email with a document attachment, a PDF attachment of the quote in addition to the text, correct?
Yes, it would have filled out. You'd have seen the quote in the text. It would have already attached the actual document in there with the template that I will have in the system, which is the quote template, and it would have done all that for me very cleanly, and I would have just clicked send there. But unfortunately, that subscription just expired, and I had not had time to set up a new environment to be able to show everything that we wanted to show today. But no
like
fear.
We said, this is our first webinar, Dynamics 365, so we're still figuring it all out.
Absolutely. But again, so I've gone back to the role of the customer, right? And I'm in my personal email, my work email, and I can see that here's the quote. Everything looks good. I can quickly reply. It looks good. Please process the order. All right. And so as that's shipping back across, I can transition back over to the Madeira user. But this time I'm actually going to stay in Outlook. Perfect, and there it is. So similar to the box that popped up while I was in Madeira, you also get the notification here, but I'm already in the inbox, so it says please process with the order. Click Madeira, and it's going to pull up the same information that was showing in that window. I see I have the ongoing sales quote. I can click that. I know that's the one I just generated. Here it is. Open that. All right, perfect. So they said to go ahead and process the order. Click the ellipsis and simply click make an order. And yes, I do want to convert this. And again, so it's already created this order within Madeira. We'll go check that out in a minute. But if I wanted to email the sales confirmation or just email the confirmation to the customer, I can do that from right here. We won't worry about that because we've already jumped around between emails enough. Let's go ahead and jump back over to Madeira. Again, simply clicking the grid here, finding Madeira on the bottom line, and moving back over. And if you were taking notes earlier, you would have noticed that it was 6 orders, or 5 orders, excuse me. Now it says 6. So I know that I have a new order to process for InterDyn Artis, which is showing up right there. Now I know we're low on time, so George, maybe we'll take a look at some financial statements.
That sounds like a plan.
Perfect. So again, it's right here on the home page. Simply click this drop down. You can take a look at the balance sheet, and the system it thinks today is 6:30. So we can either send this to the scheduling mechanism, which again will show up in my report inbox if this is something I want to see frequently, but we'll just do a preview mode for now. And here is our balance sheet as of 6:30.
So those financial statements, if you've ever used a financial report writer like FRX or Management Reporter, it's similar in that you set up rows and columns and you put those together, and that's how this works. It's just you don't have to go to a third-party application. It's all built within Project Madeira. So, hey, Jonathan, that was great. I appreciate you you showing us that. I'm going to go ahead. We have a few wrap-up slides, so I'm going to go ahead and take control back.
Perfect.
Oops. I almost clicked share my webcam. So here are some links, and if we can send you this presentation, I did not upload it, but we can send this to you or follow up with you one-on-one. So if you want to try this out, you can go to madeira.microsoft.com, and that's where you can sign up for the preview, and you'll have the exact same environment that Jonathan was showing you today. Also with the Office 365, if you've never used that, you can go to products.office.com and see all the different options there. And Microsoft App Source, if you're curious in seeing what the App Store looks like for Project Madeira or Dynamics 365, it's appsource.microsoft.com. And then our website is www.interdynartis.com. So with all of this, if you want to check this out and you have questions of any kind, that's what we're here for. Microsoft relies on its partner network to help people make the most of its software, so that's what we do. If you're really interested, you know, maybe we could talk about getting you enrolled in the TAP program. You get some extra special support too if Microsoft accepts you into that. So anyways, we're going to open it up for some question and answer, and I'll go back to this URL page while we're sitting there. And we appreciate your time this afternoon, and we'll hang out for a couple minutes and answer any other questions that come in. And we all have your email, so you will get this presentation via email probably within 24 hours. So thank you. Have a great day. Okay, that looks like it. So we're going to go ahead and close it out. Thanks again, everybody. Bye-bye.